Hello YouTubers out there, this is Frederick Lopez, the Dark Knight of Steel, and today I'm going to be showing you my Dark Knight Trilogy review and giving a sort of retrospective slash history of Batman on film and my connection to him personally as a character and what I love most about the films and how they have inspired me both as a person and a film director. And here we go. There are many movies that I like, which include Justice League. There's a TV show, Smallville's, X-Files, but movies, it's X-Men, Alien, Die Hard, it's all those. The Mission Impossibles, Rocky, almost over Mel Gibson, basically a lot of movies, and then I like Miami Vice. And then Batman, there's the animated series. The two I like the most is these, and then the Dark Knight Trilogy. So out of the Dark Knight Trilogy, you have a Blu-ray limited edition gift set that includes all three films with bonus content, and these are three equally great films. There's The Broken Bat, again with a cow. You have a excerpted condensed version of the art and making of the Dark Knight Trilogy. Has almost all the villains. You must become fear in order to bask in the fear of other men. Scene from Batman Begins. There's different artwork. Very interesting. I'm going to get the actual novel, the book though, that's like over 364 pages. So you can have the text in there. And then here it opens up with an image of him overlooking Gotham from the Dark Knight, which I actually have that poster. It's a pretty neat poster, I think, among the many I have of Batman. Includes the Dark Knight one you see back there, with the Joker one, Why So Serious, and onto the Dark Knight Rises back there. Oh, and behind me, or right in front of me, is Arkham Asylum. So out of those, you have Batman Begins, disc, regular Bat emblem. Oh, this is memorabilia. I wish they had the book, the little booklet that came with Batman Begins and Harry Potter's. And then with a wall almost similar to the teaser poster, which I don't have, with the Joker smile, 2 discs, and then the broken ice, and then under all these, it makes the Bat emblem, which you may have seen on YouTube already, out of the other trilogy reviews. But this is going to be more than a trilogy review. It's going to be a review about the whole series and my thoughts on them and how they affected me. Then we have the Batman Motion Picture Anthology, which is from 1989 to 1997. Now I know this doesn't cover everything Batman on film. I don't cover the 1960s Adam West Batman movie from Fox. And I don't cover Mask of the Phantasm either, even though it's a cartoon that came out in theaters in 1992, or 93 I mean. And it came out in theaters in 1993. And I'm going to go over that with the other Batman animated series movies in my animated series review that I'll do later. And I just wanted to talk about basically the Tim Burton, the Joel Schumacher, and Christopher Nolan films, like the real big blockbuster Batman films, even though I'm excluding some. And then I'm excluding the 1930s and 40s serials as well from Columbia, from Sony, from Columbia Pictures. So I'm just going to be talking about the big Warner Brothers one from 1989 to 2012, all the way to the Dark Knight Trilogy. The Dark Knight Rises, the epic conclusion. So that's why I'm going to exclude the other ones. I'm just going to talk about those main ones today. This includes Batman. Now, I mentioned this in another video of mine that I meant to upload during the summer in May, but I just uploaded probably a week, if not before this, or after. But I basically got into Batman at a very young age. As a matter of fact, the first time I recall is my brother. He's 15 years older than I am, and I was little, and I was watching Barney, as many young children were at that time, especially in my generation. And my brother got tired of watching Barney over and over and over, and in order to get me out of Barney, he put in a VHS tape of the 1989 Tim Burton Batman. And that was the first thing ever Batman I saw. Very thankful for it, but the downside about that, even though
my brother was happy I wasn't watching Barney anymore, I was watching Batman over and over. And at the same time during that, the animated series came on during Fox. It's one of the first cartoons I remember seeing, like every day after school. I actually threw a fit. My aunt, when I stayed over my aunt's house, everything that was recorded on the VHS tapes was either Barney to be like replayed over and over for me to watch, or Batman the animated series on Fox Kids. I remember later on there is like an X-Men and Spider-Man show with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Goosebumps. But that was the very first thing that got me into Batman. That was just one of those great movies. I think the Christopher Nolan Batman films really blow it out of the water, as in quality and just everything. But as far as that special feeling you get when watching the first '89 Batman, the only other movie I've ever had that feeling with, as well as superhero film, that just surprised me and that type of feeling, had to be the first Spider-Man in 2002 by Sam Raimi with Tobey Maguire and William Dafoe. That was like the only other movie that had that same feeling. That was like the first superhero movie that had the same feeling as a 1989 Batman. It's kind of odd. Maybe it has something to do with the music, with Danny Elfman, I don't know. But it's the only other movie that had that feeling. And I just love that movie. Even though it's not exactly like the comics all the way, like with the Joker killing Batman's parents, there's something really special about that film. And then Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean, those opening words, just like, "What are you?" Just like, "I'm Batman." And then it's just like, "I want you to tell your friends about me." And it's just really special. And then with Jack Nicholson, and it's just like, "Winged freak terrorizes. Wait until they get a load of me." That type of thing. And I especially love the line. I mean, there's just so many moments. And then when the bat wing goes up into the moon and then goes back down, and as the music just priceless there. And Party Man with Prince. On the part where he goes in, it's like, it's like, where does he get those wonderful toys? And it's just like, "You see that thing on my belt? Grab it. Whatever you do, don't let go." It's like, take off the mask, and then it's just like, "You weigh a little bit more than 108. "Oh, really?" And they go there, and another one of my favorite lines, even though it's not like the comics, is just like, "You idiot! You made me, remember? You gotta say I made you." Yeah, I mean, how childish can you get? It's just like, "I made you. You made me first." That type of thing. And they're just like, you wouldn't have a guy with glasses, would you?" And he's like, boom. It's just great. And then the ending with the bat signals, he's like, "Sir, how do we contact him?" "He gave us the signals." It's like, when it's like, boom, and then dun, 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 and then the end.
Batman Returns.
About Batman Returns, the earliest thing I remember about that had to be on a VHS recording from HBO. As a matter of fact, I had Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman recorded, and then Batman Returns. And it was the old HBO logo. I don't know if you remember this. For y'all old enough, for those out there old enough, remember the HBO logo that was like all 80s, 90s looking, like a hair salon? It had like the black and gray, and it like had feature presentation. It was like in pink, and it was like the purple background with like the pink. It was like feature presentation. It was like, and it like went through the whole star thing. I remember seeing it that much, and then I lost copies. I think I bought it twice later on. And I was trying to complete the collection of VHS. Then after that, and after the animated series, I remember the first Batman movie I went to go see at the cinema, at the theater.
Batman Forever.
Was in 1995 on Batman Forever. That was a really good movie for me. I remember they used to have the McDonald's commercials where it's just like, "I'll get drive-through," and they go get it, and it's like the McDonald's lady with the bag and the Batman. It was actually shown before the movie. And a little story here. I remember this actually because I did it. I actually remember this. After the movie was done, I was like so happy. It was my brother, my brother-in-law, my sister, and my parents, and it was Father's Day. We went to go see it in '95. And going out of the theater, I got out of there and ran in slow motion like this outside the theater, just like Batman and Robin did at the end of the movie. And I remember also on Halloween, a little bit before, I had the gray suit, not the Batman logo, but like the Tim Burton Batman logo. Yeah, that one. And I was Batman for like so many years until like I outgrew it and eventually tore the outfit. I wish I kept it, but it was torn. Anyways, that Halloween after Batman Forever, my mom got me this outfit from Sears, I think, and it was like the armor, it was like styrofoam, but it was like the sonar bat suit at the end of Batman Forever. That was just a really good movie. I liked that. And then Dick Grayson. And then it's just like, your entrance is good, his was better. And I was Batman a lot that year. And then I remember it coming out on Halloween on VHS in October. I went to go get it on Halloween. That was like really awesome Halloween. I think I watched it about 5 times in a row that night. And then that VHS, unfortunately, which happened to so many VHSs, but especially that one upset me, it got eaten up by a VCR at my aunt's house. So I ended up asking for it for my birthday later. And it was a Peter Piper pizza. Because that was a really good movie. It had the Free Willy 2 preview on it. And then I remember it premiering on HBO the first time. They actually showed the Tim Burton Batman and Batman Forever back to back when Batman Forever premiered. And that was really cool because that's like my second favorite Batman movie under that. This reminds me so much of the first one. I mean, even though it's kind of cheesy now and kind of 60-ish and neon pink, it really kind of reminded me of that. It gave it that feeling again because, I mean, even as a kid, even to now, Batman Returns is a little bit too dark. But I don't mind it. I think I would have liked it better if it was that dark, but was focusing on Bruce Wayne and Batman as a character more than the Penguin. It just seemed too Tim Burton story instead of Batman. One thing about the original films is that they kind of had Batman play a second fiddle over the villains. It was more of the villain of the week type of thing. And one of my major complaints I remember when I was little is I knew it was Batman. Val Kilmer did a great job sounding like Michael Keaton, but seeing him as Bruce Wayne, I'm like, that's not Batman. He's like, yeah, that is, it's Bruce Wayne. I'm like, but he doesn't look like Bruce Wayne from the other 2 movies. And I was kind of little, so I didn't have a concept of actors playing parts yet. And then in '97,
The infamous Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin came out, and I saw it like about 6 days after, or it might have been less than 6 days after my first nephew was born. And he was like barely in a little playpen. Me and my dad went to go see it, and it was one of those where they had the Taco Bell promotions and all the toys. I'm like, oh, it's Mr. Freeze, and they had like the animated series looking thing. And I remember the animated series movies coming out. They had little VHS villain things, and I got the Poison Ivy one and Mr. Freeze. They had what is it? I forgot the name of the episode. I can't believe this. The one where he meets his wife again. He talks to that theme park tycoon guy, and then it had Fire from Olympus. It was a fire and ice thing. And then Poison Ivy had the episode where she has the fake family, the little mud green people, plant people, and then Eternal Youth episode, or the Eternal Youth Spa. But yeah, that movie was kind of weird. It was weird. I remember before seeing it, I remember hearing Barely Breathing by Duncan Sheik. It tells you how old that movie was a long time ago. It's an old song. But yeah, even at the beginning of the movie, something just seemed odd. It was one of those movies where it was good watching, but I didn't like it as a kid. Like, even as a kid, I didn't like it as much as Batman Forever at all. And just like another Batman that was different as George Clooney. I didn't like George Clooney as Batman. I think the only 2 good... I mean, besides there's Alfred and Commissioner Gordon, but the only 2 things I liked about that movie was Chris O'Donnell again as Robin, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. And it's sad because I think if they... I mean, I wouldn't have chosen him as Mr. Freeze. I mean, Patrick Stewart or somebody else might have been better, but if they're going to get him as Mr. Freeze, I think he could have made a strong Mr. Freeze if they did it the right direction. He could have pulled it off if given a chance, I think. Even though I wouldn't have picked him. But, then, as we all know, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for Batman, the death of Batman, and then was the 8 long years with no merchandise whatsoever. What I like to call the Dark Ages of the Dark Knight.